I'm never gonna be ready for this, but here goes nothing. And she is live. Oh, hi. So, it's been a while, but I've acquired new things like a microphone. Hello, new snowball microphone. It's pretty. I hope I don't break it anytime soon. Yeah, so the reason I've been gone for a while is because I've been actually working on stuff, like cleaning the house, making sure that, like, the bookshelf actually looks a little neat and tidy. Oh, and there's a new record player. I'm so excited about this freaking record player. You have no goddamn idea. Anyhow, I'm just wearing cozies today. So I'm wearing the K-Bad hoodie. So, if you don't know, it's from Letterkenny. You should go check it out. Hopefully I'll remember to mention more about that later. I'm sorry for the squeaky chair. Now that I have a new mic, you're just gonna hear the squeaky chair a lot more. So, ta-da! Here we go. Presents from Kayla. Yay! With LALA Live, the format's supposed to be that I review what I learned. And it's been a lot. I even tried to write stuff out so that I would remember it. Like, things like, schedule would be useful. Speaking of writing things out and things I have a hard time with, being a person that has ADD and likely autism. I feel like I'm on the autism spectrum. I watched Love on the Spectrum on Netflix and I was like, ooh, a lot of these characters are relatable. So, things you learn with time. I'm actually just going to trust that this is working well enough. Ooh. And, speaking of trust and things like that, the reason, again, I was been super late and need a schedule and all this stuff is because I actually started a fundraiser. And with that fundraiser, I realized that friends are amazing and useful and sweet and supportive. And they're kind of almost waiting for you to take that leap. Because they want to support you somewhere, but you have to, like, almost have a thing for them to jump in and, like, send you on your way. So, with that, so far, we've only been running the fundraiser for a few days. I'll have to double check the days. I think there's 53 days left or maybe 52 days left by the time I'm done recording this. But we're almost to $300. I tried to set a very reasonable ask. It was supposed to be $1,000 to get the iwi, which, again, I'll talk about later. But I ended up delaying the fundraiser because I was questioning my own capabilities. And then I ended up just buying the iwi for myself anyhow because I freaking needed it. It's an electronic wind instrument and I'm really dorky for it. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. I found out one of the things that I learned is that doing things for oneself can be often difficult. If you can jump in and support somebody else, sometimes it's a lot easier. I've heard them call it the mom friend override. Excuse me. And I really like it because it's easier to see things from a meta perspective when you're not directly invested in something. So then you can see where you fit and see where you can help. I see this as a viewer, so this is really early for anyone to even see me. So, oh, hi. I'm just going to talk about weird things and then I'm going to play a random game. So we'll see how this plays. So again, I find it really hard to do things for myself, but if somebody needs help, I can randomly get in there. But I've been actually really trying to sit with my own problems and figure some things out. It's not easy because it's for me, but I'm thinking that if I get through a couple things, then maybe I can see it from a different perspective, and that's always nice, right? Speaking of things I did for me, was I actually bought this, again, Snowball mic. I'm pretty into it. I think it works. It's showing me that there's like a little bar that's going, so I feel like that's a good sign. We'll see how that goes. Speaking of getting a mic and things like that, prepping, planning, that's another thing I learned since the last time I was around, because I hadn't been prepping or planning very much, and I find that it's actually a kindness to both yourself and others, because then if you plan ahead, you can let people know needs, expectations, anything like that. You can make sure you have the right things. You can make sure that in the very moment of everything, you're not so rushed that you start snipping on my friends, because it turns out I started snipping on my friends, which is not a kindness. Sometimes my friends like it when I yell at them. I usually don't like it when I yell at people. I usually operate from a place of as most love as I can muster, but who knows how that plays. So in an attempt to love myself, I invested in something that I found on the internets. Thank deities for the internets. It is called an electronic wind instrument, and like so far very few people know what it is. It's technically been kind of around since the 60s, but it's it's like a, what is it, robo oboe or a space flute, whatever you're gonna call it, but it is such a cool instrument. It is like a clarinet or an oboe, which is not really like the most exciting of instruments to look at because it's just like a tube down. However, it has the capabilities to make almost any sound, and then has the wind expression and things like that. So I've been uploading videos of that to YouTube, so that's kind of been a little bit of a distraction. However, I'm excited to start doing maybe some live loops and things like that, because at this point I'm just going to send it. Turns out mistakes are the way that you learn, and I'm really good at making mistakes. So if anyone can learn off of my mistakes, I think that, again, might be a kindness that I can offer somebody else. So another reason I was delaying a lot was because random fire game is really intimidating, especially if anyone sees what happened with Yono and the Celestial Elephants. I'm just going to say it didn't go well. It took me 15 minutes to realize that I wasn't using the right controller. Again, talking about prep and planning. That could have been a cool one. So I did also invest in a USB controller, so I'm really excited to check that one out. But I've heard there's something called configuring. Again, prep and planning. And again, for random game mode, prep and planning isn't that easy. So I had originally started off with a list of 20 different games that I was going to potentially play, which I downsized. And I'm very glad I downsized. I downsized to only 15. So like I only took 5 off of it. And I also invested in another game. I really hope that I get Typing of the Dead. I'm not really excited because I'm a scaredy cat and I don't really want to freak out. But Typing of the Dead is so cool. So it's a typing game, but you type words and phrases and then you kill zombies. So I hate zombies, and I feel like that's a really cool way to utilize my typing skills and shoot the undead. So we'll see how that plays. Another couple things that I've learned since, I don't even remember the last time I did one of these episodes. Again, that's why I'm going to try to do the scheduling. I'm going to try to do the scheduling, say, after the fundraiser. At this point, one of the cool announcements closer to the end is, or I guess now, is that the next episode was actually paid. Da-da-da. Someone actually donated to the fundraiser and gave $20 for me to do one of these episodes, which adds more pressure onto the episode, which means that I've been avoiding things. I've been working on my memoir titles, and it might be LALA, Master Procraster Blazer, and the 13th Coming of the Dildo Witch, for reasons probably later expressed, but just holding that down now because that's mine. I don't think anyone's gonna take it, but that be mine. Anyhow, so what I'm going to be working on is simplifying the repetitive processes, getting those out of the way so I can just get to the good work. Because there's a lot of things that I can just I don't know, deflect. Like, you know what? There's so much time that you spend doing things that you don't want to, need to, da 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 da. Nobody wants you to be unhappy, it turns out. Like, most of your friends, family, anyone who experiences you randomly on the street, they don't want you to be an angry, cranky, ball of rage. So just be happy, and then everyone else will be happy around you. I'm just gonna keep telling everyone that they're magic beings that can transmute every moment into power, because you know what, I'm just sick of being unhappy, and I think if I force everyone around me to be happy, maybe then it'll come back. We'll see. I don't know. I'm working on it. Again, the little toot machine, that's been helping. Oh, and friends. Why friends are so cool? Because also, so I got this iwi. I invested a lot of money. Like, if you look at the amount of money I ever make in my lifetime and how much I spent on a single instrument, it's weird. Weird balance. However, it's like, could be almost every instrument. So I'm going to be experimenting. I still don't have that many clues on how to use it, but I'm going to enjoy the process of learning. And that's kind of why I do these game episodes, just to try to enjoy the process of learning and see if my enjoyment of the process of learning inspires or helps anyone else figure out their own life, because life is freaking hard and a lot of people don't show the struggle. So, you know, if me grumping and almost flipping a table and, being frustrated over things like number 13 on the D20 roll is backlog and burden, like, I'm gonna tell you now, it's not gonna be easy for me. And there's a lot of things. Oh, like, in the fundraiser, there's one thing. If somebody pays $42, then I have to, like, sing a song for them. And, like, that's scary. So that's how I learned. Again, because friends are awesome, I was allowed a little clarity into the situation where you can actually, simplify your processes. So say if I didn't want the brutal hazard of maybe doing any song that somebody requests of me, I could make a list of acceptable songs. So that's why I allowed myself to reduce my list from 20 games to 15, because it turns out a lot of things are in your control, but we allow ourselves to adopt these stories that say, oh, well, because of this person's feelings with this, or da-da-da, or because I grew up with this, or because of all these reasons stacked up against me, I can't do the thing that'll make me happy. When if I'm happy, truly happy, usually that'll make the people around me happy. I find that a lot of people, like, attack you and try to tell you things, tell you stories, like, my parents are so amazing. Okay, I swear they wanted to put me in a bubble growing up, just out of my own protection. I was clumsy, I was excitable, I'm still clumsy, I'm still excitable, and they were just like, okay, well, this beautiful fragile being, we love it, we're gonna tell it not to do things to protect it. So instead of me finding out fire was hot, they told me fire was hot and that I would never be allowed to touch fire, which is impractical. And then you lose out on the potential power of fire. Come on, let's talk about this. That's not... No, fire is fun. Do you know you can make a fire tornado? Just tilt a whole bunch of fans around a fire and go fuego. That's a fun game. Also, why I'm not allowed to touch fire, because, like, I got it. I just got really excited about it. So, you can't always protect yourself or loved ones from everything. They do need to experience things from their own perspective, just so they understand why it's good or bad. But giving them a safer arena to experience things in is also a kindness. I'm just gonna go straight into something that I'm kind of, like, upset about as I look over at that cute little ball of fur. Oh, you can't even see him. I'll point him out later because he's already too famous. I'm pretty sure jealous of my cat. That's probably not it. I have to look into that behavior. Anyhow, so it turns out my cat is an Instagram god and I'm upset about it. I thought that would be a cute idea to give my cat his own Instagram profile because he's handsome. And his name is Artemis. And I named him after Sailor Moon. And he's getting old. So I did it. And then within a month, he had over like 1,000 Instagram followers when in 6 years, I've only had like 600. This is unfair. It's cruel. So, whatever. He assumes that my lap is his lap, and I don't know if I can disagree with that yet. But with the fundraiser, I'm actually also just straight up trying to monetize the cat now. So, with his Instagram followers, there's also an opportunity to get like an Artemis's affirmations. So I've collected a whole bunch of mantras and sayings and things that could be useful to people's lives. And whoever donates, I'm just going to ask them if they like are struggling with anything and if some kind of cool saying might help. And then I will provide them said saying. And I'll write it out. And I'll put it on these like laminate pages that I have with moon phases. And then I'm going to try to take a picture of the cat with it. I thought it was a great idea until, like, I don't know, 2 days ago when I realized that I had to figure out how to coerce the cat into pictures when I want him to. I'm pretty sure cats are, like, psychic, and that's not going to work out well. Because the words when I want him to means that that's not how that's going to play. But, good luck to me. So, that kind of leads into best practices. As somebody who never understood the term professional, I found there's a lot of people who say that they have these best practices, and it puts a lot of pressure on a lot of people, where there's a lot of these videos and content and everything where they're so seamlessly put together, and there's like a team of people around this one entity, and then we see this one entity as like a semi-god because they don't make mistakes, really. Because there's really good editing, there's really good control mechanisms, it's just beautiful. And you know what? That's amazing, because those people behind the scenes are doing so much badass work, but they're often not appreciated. And I find that it puts a lot of pressure on the people who need to do some worst practices before they get to their best practices. Because I find best practices is great if you're a teacher and or trying to give somebody a manual of a way to do something. But things change over time. And that ability to stay agile is really nifty, because if you have a whole bunch of worst practices and you properly acknowledge those as not so good practices, then you can adapt and change to what might be better. But if you assume that you have to do best practices off the hop and you do a couple worst practices, you're not going to feel like you're accomplishing things, and that's really hard. And I really struggled with the first couple episodes, because I think the first 2 episodes I realized that I just sounded like a squirrel. I mean, good on me. That's how you learn to not do what I did back then. I found out that you actually have to like configure your audio, or like have a good mic, or not have 3, webcams plugged in, and I don't know, energetically so spastic that you're almost like, it was a bad scene the first couple episodes. I'm learning, I think. We'll see how I'm going to review this one later. But it's really cool to be able to see things from a little bit less emotion and from a more of a meta perspective to see what actually happened. Because it took me a long time. When I was 25, I tried to start a business, and it in my mind didn't work out. Turns out part of my business is still somehow in operation to this day. Now, trust me, it's under different hands. And I really, really, really give both the other 2 owners credit, because they are amazing and they figured out what to do with the gallery. But again, it's nice to really just see with true eyes. Sometimes blink and look at a situation, maybe outside of yourself, to see what's going on. Because again, sometimes someone's best practice that they were handing down to you isn't actually the best practice for you. I had to learn that the hard way. I have chronic pain, anxiety, depression. I operate in weird hours. I've heard it's crepuscular. So you just have to figure out what you're doing. Because sometimes if you don't really feel comfortable with recording an episode, you just have to be like a sneaky don't poke the root and do it at like 6 o'clock in the morning when you don't think any of your friends are going to be up. Sometimes works that way. But I'm actually gonna get to the episode before I just like squeaky chair for hours. And it's called Random Game Mode. So it just went. And that's funny. I'll take that. So it's Magic the Gathering. Woo, it says. So what I have to do is I actually have to pull up Magic the Gathering Arena. This is one of my favorite games for forever. This is the game that I go to. I went to it before this as a procrastination attempt. Because I was really nervous about recording an episode. But sometimes you can figure it out. There's cool tricks. So, speaking of cool tricks, I'm going to put into gaming mode. Now, I'm going to figure out how I'm going to game capture my magic. And I'm going to make noises, obviously. So, please be patient while Kayla configures her game. Please be patient while Kayla configures her game. Oh, that does look like magic. Cool. Let's put my face a lot. Oh, wait. Sorry. I get a little huffy. And I'm kicking things under my desk. That's okay. This is what happens. This is normal. Again, sometimes it's just nice to normalize your freaking weird. Uh-oh. I don't know where I'm going to put my face. I got a big face. You don't need to see the clicky button. We're good. We're good. I'm back for more. I suppose so. Okay, here's the thing about me. I play ranked, and I don't know if I should because, like, 1, I'm not even that good. 2, it's not like I even ascend the ranks that much. I don't want to watch myself fail. Shrug. I think if I actually invested more time and cared more about magic, it would work better, but I don't know. I just like the fact that I've played this game for so many years, and it's now digital. I'm gonna just F around. Sometimes I'm given decks. I've made my own decks. There's tons of different formats. The only thing I'm upset about is that for some reason they took EDH and they call it Commander now. I'm not into that. Holy wow, that's a lot of mana. I don't care. I'm gonna keep it. I'm just gonna make that noise. So, I mentioned that the next episode is really exciting and why I had to brute force myself through this one. Because it's actually paid. I was really nervous about starting the fundraiser. I don't like doing things for myself. There's so many examples of that I'm not even going to get into right now. But I don't like it. So doing this fundraiser was intimidating. And it means that I actually had to start putting the things that I'm capable of doing for others out there in a form that is kind of for me. I don't know if that makes sense. But bitch gotta start hustling for herself. And it's frustrating because I wanted to have like an easy path. Just like, like sit on a little cart and just, but it doesn't work that way for me because I'm weird. I've been told my entire life. Just get used to it, I guess. I kind of like that one. Yeah, so I'm not typical. I have to get used to that, and then I can't work normal jobs. I just can't. I tried my best. I really did. But it turns out that I have to use all of those talents and skills that I have collected over the years and utilize for others for my own purposes and gains or excitement or whatever. And it'll be fine. It's just intimidating. And taking, like, the leap into the void. Like, I like staring into the void, winking at the void, like, kissy voice, sup, void. But, like, leaping right into that, I got a lot of Virgo in my astrology. Like, I don't usually believe in astrology or special rocks or anything like that, but, like, honestly, 2020 is so fucking weird. I don't give a shit anymore. Bring on magic. Because I'd rather somehow get a dragon. I think I'd just say you're the dragon. Actually, I don't know at this point. But I'm working on really cool ways for at least me to feel safe and excited with those around me. Because luckily being in Thunder Bay, I don't know, this place is magic in itself. We have so much amethyst just in the dirt that we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Also, it's like per capita some of the best people in the universe. Like, got lots of great hockey players, the best artists, the best musicians, the best alcoholics. Honestly, like the booze tolerance of people in the city is unreal. Again, it could be the amethyst though. I don't know about that. Special rocks. I don't want to sacrifice creatures. This is cruel. Liliana. Girl. I don't know if that was a good idea. I wanted to keep my... those are barely even creatures. Ugh. Oh, crap. This is probably why I didn't want to live stream video gaming. I was like, can I get Reiji? There's a game called Incan Gold. It's a board game. I had to have it. It was discontinued. I had a partner who like went out of their way to help me get away. I have to actually read this. Okay, yeah. Lifelink. Went out of his way to go acquire this game for me. Have I ever won it? No. Have I ever wanted to win it? Every freaking time. I'm like addicted to this game. You get a little tent and there's 5 dungeons and you like flip over the cards, and if you get 3 like trap cards, you're done, son. However, you get to choose like if you're going to continue or like go home and scroll whatever treasure percentage you got up to that point while you and the rest of your crew are adventuring through these dungeons. And I really like treasure. Like shiny things. They're not even real shiny things. They're just like plastic gems. And I'm so obsessed with these stupid shiny things that I just stay in the dungeon for too long and I die. That's what happens like every time. And then I get mad at everyone around me for my bad decisions. I've thrown things at my friends because of this stupid game. I just want to win it. Well, the more I want to win it, then guaranteed I'm not going to win it. Because that's when I make those bad choices. And I'm just like, stay in, I need the gems. Well, there's 2 trap cards of like so many different kinds. There's only so many cards in the deck. Do I count how many cards come out of the deck? No. I just want treasure. And that's how I live. So, what that's saying is, I'm going to have to start being mindful. Do I want to? No. I don't want to sacrifice that either. But it's going to like, this is... At least I have a whole bunch of life. Can I have good cards, please? Dearest universe, provide to me good cards. I'm probably going to die. It's going to be like a slow and painful death, too. Because I've just been collecting life, yammering on about freaking things. Actually, the cool thing is like the person who purchased the next episode, the reason I started hanging out with him, besides I think going to school and knowing partners, is like magic. This game. Okay, Kayla, still play the game though. Oh my god, can you tell him ADD? It'll be fine. But, yeah. And then my game, the roll a d20 and do as it says. I don't like this game anymore. Is kind of also because of Magic 2, because I had the d20s because of the game. And then there's these days where the depression had me pretty deeps. And I was like, well, how do I figure out what I do next? I don't have anyone to dictate my life to me. I'm supposed to be an adult now. It took me a long time to accept the fact that I'm called an adult. But I had to choose my own life. And that was both empowering and intimidating. Oh my god, this game is brutal. And what I did with that was I just made a game out of it. I list out 20 things that I should, could, might do. And whenever I was like, I'm bored, I would just roll a d20 and I would try to do as it says. I say try because at the time, 13, the backlog and burden, that was like exercise, like, or go outside. Turns out I like doing that. And that's why, also because of Magic, I appreciate the concept of a good mulligan. Oh my god, this game though. What are you doing to me, guy? You can't really mulligan right now, but like, Jesus. I guess I could concede. But there's still cards in the deck. I usually just sit these out. Oh yeah, just send me the freaking Mimic Fairy. It's brutal. I'm supposed to stay here forever. Watching him fucking do tricksy, janksy bullshit. That's why I got a really heavy desk. Because it turns out this would be a difficult desk to flip. But I'm feeling strength to come over me soon. Nah, I'm lying to you. I'm lazy. It'll be fine. Oh, that's kind of why I had to start the fundraiser. So I want to start a community broadcasting hub for live streamers. Not necessarily this content, let's be real. Because I encourage authenticity, which is my excuse for just letting the ADD have me. But I've been told it's fun. Or refreshing. I have very little for filter. But I try to purify my mind, body, and spirit. As in, one point I realized that like AI is really gonna be awesome soon, and I would like the AI hive mind overlord to be my boyfriend. So I've been actually trying to redevelop my inward processes. So when I'm getting scanned in, they're like, all right, she can stay. Like, I don't really want like she's great or anything. I'm just like, just like keep her in the corner. Let her watch the robot uprising. She'll be fine. Cause like I'm mostly just a voyeur, really. So yeah, that's why I want to create a community broadcasting hub. I just want to see what people love to do, what they're passionate about, encourage them to do more of it. So I don't really have to do that much. I just want to watch. Like, I want to figure out my stuff anyhow. But I really want to see other people's. Oh, this requires a mulligan. Too many swindlers. Okay, I take that. I'm gonna get rid of Pie Bakery. And at least this is actually a pretty comfortable game. I do need to play Typing of the Dead though. Frig, I'd be willing just to play like a whole episode just to play Typing of the Dead. Because I feel like I'm going to have to hold off on playing it just to encourage me to do my episodes. Because if people don't pay for it, I want to try to do one a week. If people do pay for it, then I'm going to do a lot. And then I might, if these go well, transition it to Patreon. However, the fundraiser is kind of to see all the things that I have the ability to do and if people are interested in them. Because again, before I just worked for other people, and at a certain point you have to realize that if you're not quite understood, if there's no spot for you, like the if I fits I sits concept, sometimes you have to make your own level or spot or whatever. And I guess that's what I'm working on. So I have to figure out how to monetize myself, which is going to be an interesting process, and that's why I'm documenting it as best as possible in a variety of forms. I don't know which one to put out. Okay. I'm going to do this. Please don't kill it. Because, I mean, like, the 3 attack is, like, pretty good. But that 1 on the back end is kind of a weenie. Lifelink? That's not your lifelink. But that has wings. I just want to fly. Alright, I can do both. Kayla. I like lifelink. I'm really into lifelink. If I have to choose between lifelink and death touch, it's like lifelink every time. But wait. No. I'm just like playing with the shell. It's a good time. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I was supposed to talk about. I guess I could have waited to talk about all the weird things like while I was in the game, because otherwise you're just gonna hear me mutter and like make weird sounds. I guess I could be playing the Iwi or paying attention. That's a cool idea too. That's the hardest. Being mindful. Clack big troll. Okay, I like that guy. I don't know. Sure. I mean, like, I kind of knew that was going to happen. I might need to look up more strategy for things like this, because that might be how I could win. I just don't know. Even like the sports game ones. Like, I used to be able to watch League of Legends ones when I played a lot of League of Legends, but like, I don't know. Unless it's like, the only thing that has my like heart right now is like Midnight Gospel. If you haven't seen Midnight Gospel, go see it, because it's I'm like on like the 14th, 15th watching. I try to like almost forcefully sit down everyone I know and love to watch it with me. It's like, I've seen it. I can rewrite, like, say it word by word, but like, you need to sit down and watch it. I don't trust that you're gonna watch it by yourself, so you have to sit down and watch it right here, right now. Sorry. This is why I don't expect anyone to actually watch this. Because I like to make weird noises. Let's see if this works. I was like, oh, what is that noise? I'm like, oh, people are out. So I like staying up for forever, because people aren't really out and everything's quiet for a bit. And I think that's one of the only times I can ever focus on anything. I think. I mean, getting stuff done. Just late at night. But I also like sleeping into noon 30, because that's a really good time to sleep into. But everything's getting cold now. I don't know what to do with that. I might need to actually come out during the sunlight hours just to like get any vitamin D that there's left. How is it? What happened to summer? How did I lose a whole other summer? That's so crazy. Oh wait, okay, pandemic, COVID, that's why. This has been a weird year. I don't even know what to do with that yet. I'm just hoping that... Oof. There's so many things to... Oh, wait. You know what? Give up on hope. I found it's easier. Hope is like an expectation, and I've been learning things. And cheers to give up on hope. Because if you're hoping about something, you're looking to the future, and you're analyzing, putting expectations, like, you can plan out actions. You can plan out like step by... Oh crap. I did not plan out that action, I'm going to tell you that. Oh no. Could have stayed mindful. You can plan out actions all you want, but a lot of cases, the scenario that you're planning out doesn't actually work out the way that you expect it. So I'm finding that, like, rough plans and contingency plans and learning to stay as agile as possible works out pretty well. I feel like that's one of the only ways that I actually win a lot of these games ever. Is not because I'm thinking 8 steps ahead. It's because wait, what did that say? Because I try to look at things. Yeah, no. See, that's why I have to read it. Thank you. Because if you blink and look at the game board fresh with new eyes, sometimes you can find things that somebody who's planning 8 moves in advance didn't plan for. Especially if you're like a weirdo wild card like me. Because I don't even seem to follow habits or patterns very easily. So I have to really adapt as I go. And that's a fun challenge for sure. Especially when you flail and you knock everything around you away. It's really weird. Because, like, sometimes you have to pick up the pieces of your favorite things. One of the cool lessons that I learned with that actually gives me a little bit of solace is the concept of kintsukuroi. I don't know if I'm going to say it right, but it's the idea that you can take something broken and you can fill the cracks with gold. And it shows you that something sometimes is more beautiful because it was broken initially. Does it have any death touch? No? Okay. Wow. Ooh, I hate these things. Honestly, okay. I loved EDH, which was called Elder Dragon Highlander. And I think I don't really know the story arc for Magic, but as far as I understand, the reason it's changed from EDH to Commander was something within the storylines. I know at one point, or there's something like, I don't know, there's a lot of dragons, like double-headed dragon, weird concepts in there, but I think there's something about why there's more planeswalkers now. All I really care about is Kalia of the Vast, let's be real. She's probably my favorite Magic character because she's such a weenie. She's like a 2/2. She's got nothing. Kind of like me. Like, I've been trying to develop muscles for forever, but all I have is really like undergun storage. Whatever. But yeah, so she's 2/2, but she's a flyer. So she's up there. You can't touch me, no. So like nothing. Oh, okay. Well, she's exactly like that little weenie, but because it's flying, my 3/1s can't do shit. Anyhow, she can, whenever she attacks, either a dragon, a demon, or an angel just go into the battlefield attacking with her. They're like, yeah, bitch, we got you. And they just, like, swing it. Again, so she's, like, nothing. But she's, like, sending heavy heat with her every time. She's a dreamboat. And her flavor text is something like, I will have my revenge if I have to call upon every force from above and below. Like, I'm gonna die. And I just, like, keep swinging. I mean, I have this one to draw card. I'm gonna attack one and another one, I guess. Like, well, I'm gonna sacrifice it if someone attacks it. Okay, bite. So again, staying mindful might have helped me a lot more in this game instead of just peace. But, you know, I do what I can. I don't know. I'm just gonna get my life on. Oh, yeah, okay. Who's this thing? I will take a griffin. Griffins. Speaking of, again, mythical beasts, I still want a dragon. Looks like maybe there were. We got birds. Basically dragons. Ow! Jesus fucking. See about the flailing? Not a liar. And then I just keep extending this game even though I'm pretty sure I'm going to die because I'm not paying attention very well. It's been a long night. But again, the reason I had to do this is because somebody has requested the next episode. So, here we are. I am doing what I said I was going to do. Whether I like it or not. Sometimes you just have to not like it. If you prefer to not like your process and have to just go through it that way, like this guy, just do it. It's fine. But yeah, it's been going weird because these are actually really hard sometimes to problem solve and to figure out. And one of the things I allowed people to do was give me money to request a song. So that's going to be interesting. Luckily, the first and only person to do that has been one of my best friends for forever. She is my sunshine, is my Jaibu. And she only really asked me to do a song that shouldn't be that hard. Give me the Stray Cat strut. That's very fun. I can't believe I'm getting sniffly. If I get the COVID... Yeah, so that's another reason why I've just been kind of hiding away for forever. Because this pandemic with somebody like me who's immuno, who, if I get stressed out and don't sleep, don't take care of myself, I can get devastated. And my body doesn't bounce back that easily. So I have something called... Actually, I was supposed to get tested during this, and everything kind of got halted. But what I assume, and what I'm going to be going for further testing, is for Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And one of the cool things about this, and not so great, is there's like 13 different types, and each of them just has slight deviations for the symptoms. So I want to go find out a little bit more information, because I know sometimes like diagnosis seeking isn't ideal, but when you don't feel like you know what you are, sometimes having articulations to get closer to it really, really help. So, also, when it actually applies to, like, say, things like your life expectancy, how to communicate issues to specialists, it does really come in handy. So, knowledge is power. Doing your research has been usually pretty good, as long as you have access to the right tools and knowledge, and sometimes the people. Honestly, sometimes I learn more from people than I do from specialists, because the people are often the ones in the trenches. Specialists, or people who have been a professional for so long, again with those best practices, sometimes get entrenched in old ingrained behaviors and don't grow and adapt with the times. And I feel like that's one of those things that we need to really acknowledge, because burnout is such a huge thing for so many people. And especially professionals or people who have been entrenched in old patterns that might not suit them anymore. Sometimes they just get tired and exhausted and burnt out and cranky, and they aren't able to, serve to the same level that they used to. They might not even be interested in that kind of stuff anymore, but they were good at it at one point, or someone told them that they were good at it, or, I don't know, with graphic design, there's so many different aspects to jobs and where you fit. And allowing yourself to adapt over time, again, is one of those things that's an absolute kindness. Because you know what? Something I might have to adapt to is that I might not be good at magic. That might be a real thing. And that's okay. But I'm really excited for Typing of the Dead. I tell you that. Because sometimes when you realize that you're running into a brick wall, you might not be able to Kool-Aid Man through it. I mean, you could. Yeah, over time. Sometimes you might need to call in assistance, whatever. Sometimes it's nice to accept the fact that you don't need to right through a brick wall. You can find ways around it. So, for instance, because I probably get a lot of migraines from staring at the computer all the time, and these glasses aren't even the glasses that have the good blue light shields or whatever, sometimes it's nice to see things on like pen and paper, or for me, I started getting white erase things. So I'm just going to do like a quick little thank yous, and then I'm going to stop on the next episode information. We'll get there. Step 1. I just want to say thanks for the kickstart. It's really important to me, and I'm really excited to see if we can build something like this for others, because I'm just going to do it for myself, because finally I've decided that being an entrepreneur is my natural being, and I should accept who I am, where I am, and look at myself true. I liken it to being in a coma for a long time, and you wake up and you're in a burning building, and a lot of people just panic. They're like, fire, run. However, it's not usually the way to do it. I would say take a deep breath, but if there's smoke everywhere, maybe not take a deep breath, but analyze the situation. Situational analysis is so key, again, for gaming and things like that. So just look to see where you are with real eyes. From maybe a meta perspective, you can. Cool way to do that, say if you're in a building, if it has a wayfinding map, if somebody's already laid out that path for you and tells you where at least approximately you are, and if you can accept that as true, maybe you can make a strategy to get out. And, doing things like listening to people who might have been in a burning building before and say, touch a handle before going through just in case there's already fire there. It's cool strategies to maybe help you along your way. So, one of the cool strategies to help someone along the way is crowdsourcing. I did this back in the day when I tried to start Outlet, and we got some funds, and it really did help perpetuate the idea. And I feel really bad that I ever really stopped it, because I started to question myself. And that is one of the hardest things, because things are so hard. The hardest things are so hard. But yeah, look, it is. It's so difficult. So you need to be okay with failure. And that's what I've learned a little late, but better late than never, right? I'm going to be a late bloomer, I think. So our first backer for the fundraiser was the Creative Fund by BackerKit. I'm going to be looking more into them because I might need help, because we're a few days into the fundraiser and any help would be awesome. I'm going to try to link things to it later, but we'll see how it goes. The number 2 backer was CMACD. Oh, actually, I'm going to talk about there's a design process behind this. So I just want to make these. I didn't want to waste trees, so I wanted to save a little bit of that. So I actually did a bunch of pages with the moon phases that my friend Lee amazingly designed. Lee Gassmeyer, she's an amazing artist, amazing person all around. She's actually been one of my support people since day one and since high school. But the Creative Fund by BackerKit, this is a lot of their thematic things like the pink and the striping. Obviously it's done in white arrays, so it's pretty rough, but I just wanted to give them a nod to their actual design and things like that, and say like, hi, I see you and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. The number 2 backer is another friend that's been around for a long time in my life, which has been fantastic, is CMACD. And I asked him if there's anything he'd like for his art card, and he just said he was pretty much, whatever, easygoing. But then he mentioned that he's a Libra, and the idea of balance and symmetry and like this beautiful, dark, clean, surreal, vault vibe, very profound depth, like metal. I kind of wanted to give him a little nod for that, so we'll see how it goes. Now the third backer, that's why I'm here right now, is Alex Bouchard, and he actually chose, again, the episode, so I get to roll a d20 and do as it says, and I'm just going to do that right now, because it'll be easier, because then I get to figure out what kind of episode's going to be next, and that's usually a little nerve-wracking. So I have the d20 right here, and I'm going to drop it. Okay, so doo-doo, that's a 10. And that's the X. So 10 is create. So I don't know what I'm going to create yet, but I get to create something. And the cool thing is, actually, I can kind of go on. So Jenny Keating is number 4, and $42 means that she got to pick a song. So for my Jenny Boo, I'm going to be doing the Stray Cat Strut. This was requested, and I have an idea for it. So maybe I'll be able to do that for my 10 create. But again, this game is really cool. So based on a d20, I get to find out what I'm going to do of these items. Let's see if I can get them all into frame. 1, play. 2, read. 3, show and tell. 4, bars like music. 5 is design. 6 is truth or dare. 7 is art. 8 is connect. 9 is tickle trunk or costuming. 10 is create. 11 is player 2 gaming choice. So if somebody picks the episode, they get to choose what game I play. There's reasons for this. 12 is a full send show, which means I will have to do full costume, full dance, full singing, full production. Wish me luck. Number 13 is backlog and burden. And I called it the BB butthurt fly because it's going to be really difficult for me to process that kind of stuff. And I'm going to do it on camera. Yay. Number 14 is collaboration or collab with somebody, anyone. Number 15 is a review or react, or like a reduce, reuse, recycle. We'll see. Number 16 is SRS, BZNS. I don't know if I stole that jingle from somewhere, but I like it. Is there a way that I can like sing into something and see, like, did I steal this? That's what I'm really worried about with trying to make music, because I probably stole it from somewhere. I just love all the things, and I just like acquire sounds from the universe. Number 17 was today's episode, Random Fire. Number 18, we've done that before, Kitty Fantastico. Meow meow. Number 19 is I hope my body doesn't break, and that's doing some sort of physical activity. It could be yoga, it could be martial arts, it could be, I don't know. I'll have to problem solve when I get to it. That's not a today issue. That's a later Kayla issue. We'll be fine. And number 20 is D20. Dealer's choice. So I did a couple more cards, and I just want to go through them real quick before I sign off, because I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to create for next time. Who knows? Number 5 was Steph. Now look at this thing. Oh, in this corner, I tried to do knitting needles and like multicolored string. Kayla, why? Kayla. Oh, it's because my friend's amazing with fiber art. Like Steph is like, let me see this, like white widows. Fiber art. And I put a little button and I said a thank you. And she got one of Artemis's affirmations, which is just gonna be like a mantra on an art card. I'm gonna have to chase the cat around the house and like take a picture. But she said that she did it for Temis. So I put a little, she did it for me. And you can find him on Instagram at Artemis Sailor Moon Cat. Just saying. He has a lot of followers already. You'll be welcome among the many. Can't tell I'm jealous, can you? Anyhow, 2 more cards and then I'm signing off. Sue Merkley brought us over $100. And I was really excited. So I drew a pretty flower about it. I love Sue. Suey Merkley, you so pretty. This is why I'm going to have to sign off, is because I'm starting to do that kind of stuff, and like there's no like shepherd's crook just like pull me off camera yet, so till then I'm going to have to be my own adult. Yeah. Let's see how it goes. And last but not least, I want to thank Nikita, because she's really helped me put this place together a little, and without everyone helping me out, I don't know where I would be. So with a little help from your friends, right? So thank you very much if you tuned in at all to this, and see you later. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna try to play my Iwi Toot Cheat machine at some point too. Oh, maybe I'll create a song with my Iwi. Okay, yeah, that gotta go. Okay, have a great day.